have no idea why you invite people to the cookout and then you get mad when they partake in the food. You invited her. If you didn't want her speaking on Black relationships, why did you invite her? Every now and again, Pearl likes to hit the chitlin circuit, and she likes to talk to the Black folks about our issues and all the things that are happening with us. Now, if you guys watch Pearl, if you've seen Pearl, then you know she's a troll. You know she don't give a damn. Her whole shtick is to get you in your feelings so that you say something stupid while she remains calm and collected, making her look like the intelligent person in the room, even if what she's saying is horse shit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm embarrassed of my people because we can't help ourselves but to get, rage baited by all sorts of folks. Then we wonder why. People laugh at us. They say we chimp out. I know if you guys been on Twitter, you see the high IQs. They'll say, oh, we're chimping out. Look at them chimp out. But it's like we give them the slam dunk to say it because they say one word and we lose our freaking minds. This is Shut Up Fatty. This is on his channel. So if you guys want to support his channel, again, it's Shut Up Fatty.
Do most women know about how these men move out there? Because in my head, it comes Future, Nick Cannon, Cam Newton. Like, usually the guy that has already a track record and women still flock to them. This is a very visible. I don't think this is like the woman will.
No, women know, but we hate that we love them.
That's different.
Like, oh, I love him so much. I hate it. We hate that we love the criminals, the players, the rappers, in this case, the entertainers, the really unstable men we just love. And you could see this because when women are young and hot, that's who we pick. When we're old, ugly, and used up, I mean, that's when we go for the stable guys.
Pearl, what do you know about being young and hot? Maybe the young part, but let's not say the hot part. When we're hot, girl, you've been a hard 20 your whole 20. But to that sentiment about wanting the bad boy, I mean, we see it time and time again. All these different men that are the bad boys, why do they got 5, 6, 7, 10 baby mamas? Let's be so for real here. Young boy, NBA young boy, that little Pookie. How many baby mamas does he have? Nick Cannon, how many baby mamas does he have? Think about, this whole system that they have with single women marrying inmates. It would be, nonsensical to pretend like that's not a thing, okay? And later on in this, Pearl's gonna bring up Ted Bundy. How many bras were writing Ted Bundy while he was in prison?
Very good job, yeah. We do a very good job convincing them we love them. So I don't know if any girl comes in and is like, I love the stable guys. It's like, at 20, did you? Usually not. So that's. And we can't help it to some degree. We cannot help that we are attracted to men that show signs of dominance. I think a lot of us we wish we could turn it off, but we can't. It's just what we're attracted to, unfortunately. So
we're biologically hardwired to. Did you say we're biologically hardwired to want chaotic, criminal,
well, dominant? Yeah, dominant. Because you got to think of like Ted Bundy. He had women. Yeah, he had women writing him love letters. He impregnated a woman. He impregnated a woman while he was in prison for murdering women. This is a real Luigi Mangione.
I don't think that's a woman thing. I think that's a thing that certain women do.
If we go back to the olden days, okay, you wanted to get with the man that was going to be able to protect you, that was going to be assertive and be able to sustain the family, go out, do the hunting, keep you safe from other people that want to invade your family and kill your kids and steal the wife and all that other stuff. It's just, unfortunately, our minds have kind of conflated this bad boy with protector provider, right? Like, even though that's completely antithetical to what a bad boy is, but that dominance that the bad boys assert, that confidence, it taps into that primal desire for the alpha male. It taps into that primal desire for the man that can protect me. If you take two men and one is confident and the other is a bit meek and reserved, you're going to naturally assume that the one that is confident is the one that can fight versus the one that's a little bit more meek. You're going to think that they probably can't fight, they probably can't protect, even though that could be entirely untrue, right? The man that's confident could have a false sense of confidence, and then he gets into a fight and he gets his beat. But the one that's kind of like, Maybe they know how to whoop some. And it is something that is a biological wiring to want the man that's going to be able to protect you and your kids, because that's survival. I would rather be tethered to the man that can keep me and mine alive, that can protect our babies, that can protect me. That's where that comes from. But like I said, it's being tied to something that is not necessarily that. The bad boy isn't necessarily the one that's going to protect you and keep you safe. More times than not, it's the exact opposite. He's the one that's going to harm you, keep you unsafe. You know, the more we try to run away from it and act like it doesn't, well, that's some women, you know, act like it doesn't happen, then you're not going to be able to get to the root of the problem and then ultimately try to fix it. I understand that Pearl is very detestable. I feel you. I don't like the heifer either. But with that being said, when you're going into a debate, you're going into a panel, you can't just write everything off that they have to say simply because you don't like them. That makes you look unhinged. That makes you look like you're not principled. Because if I understand that something is true and I just deny that truth because I don't like their ass, then that just makes me an untrue person my damn self. It makes me unreliable. It ruins my credibility. It makes it so that people are not going to take what I have to say seriously, because just because I don't like that person, now facts and evidence just go completely out the window. Okay, I get it. Pearl is detestable and she's hard to look at. On top of that, do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you do have an issue with something that she's saying, you have to combat it with facts, evidence, logic, reasoning. What's up, Rome King? You said, I think they also like bad boys because of the holier than thou complex. It makes sure they remain the one that is always morally superior, even if they aren't a good character themselves as a woman. Facts. Speak on it. Speak on it. It's almost like the girls that will get into friendships with other girls that they think are uglier than them or fatter than them. If you look okay, but then you surround yourself with women that look below average, if you surround yourself with a bunch of pearls, then you're gonna look like a baddie because they're just comparing you to what they're seeing in front of them rather than everything else that's out there.
Well, you are correct.
There's no.
Hold on, Jazz, let her land, and you respond. You going to get the mic? Let her land.
Not every woman does that. There's different levels of dominance. However, we are still attracted to dominant men, and that does come in the form of, if a man can kill someone else, we know he can protect us biologically. So that just is what it is.
So you find you equate dominance with, you find a man that can dominate and harm a woman attractive?
That's one way that men describe it, or that's one way that men do it, and women do select those men.
You have this goofy look on your face as if it's not true. I'll give you an example. Jeremy Meeks, they say the 30-year-old man was charged in 2002 with robbery and injury to a child, allegedly jumped a 16-year-old and beat him to a pulp, affiliated with a street gang. He was a Crip. And what did these heifers do? What did these heifers do? They were out here writing this man letters. They were just fiending over this man, even though he had a record of violence. Yeah, there are women who are attracted to that. And I don't understand why. Maybe there's some women that think, oh, he would do that, but he wouldn't do that to me. A lot of women have like this kind of savior complex, or this complex about themselves that he could be bad, but he's bad with you. He won't be that way with me. Yeah, he put pause on his baby mama, his ex-baby mama, but he would never do that to me because I'm just so great. I can heal him. Like, let's not pretend like there aren't women who are attracted to that.
So I try not to apply morality to this, good or bad, it doesn't matter, because women do pick criminals. Criminals are more, men that have committed a violent crime are actually more likely, they are more likely to reproduce than men that haven't. So I didn't make this world. You know, I didn't make women write love letters to Ted Bundy.
Has that been your experience? Like, are you attracted to criminals?
Well, to be fair, I don't know many criminals. So that hasn't been my experience personally.
What about the people in your environment?
I mean, I've interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them did procreate and date men with felonies. That's not uncommon. So,
okay,
especially in the Black community, if we're going to be honest, that's
well, yeah. Well,
that's uncommon. So I don't know why you're pretending to not know what I'm talking about. You can gaslight these simps, but you can't gaslight me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think you know anything about the Black community, but I will say.
And see, this is where it started. Exactly, Rome King, baited. The moment she says anything, as a white woman says anything about black this, black that, you go into talking about black women this, black women that, which is what she's gonna do, instantly triggered.
It's a lot of white women that find, men who kill other women attractive. Those were the women that were
true, but I won't gaslight you about it. I won't gaslight you. I would say that's true. That's true. There are white women that do that.
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
completely.
Hold on, real quick. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna say it again. Hold on, real quick, Pearl.
I
Hold
can't
on.
hear you while I'm talking.
Jazz,
I don't even know why she even brought up the black community.
I don't know why she brought up the black community, because she wants to rage bait you. She wants to get you so in your feelings that you start making illogical statements, that you start crashing out. That's why she brought up the black community, because just saying women in general was not gassing you up enough. It wasn't making you angry enough. So now, let me throw in, well, in the black community, and then there you go. You're in your feelings and you're not going to handle the conversation correctly.
Why I brought it up, the black community, because you're black, so you would know. Because like I don't.
That is first of all,
It's like the same reason you brought up the white community, because I'm white.
I didn't
have
bring
eyes, you know.
If you're done, first of all, that's very disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful.
This
No,
was
it's
a
not.
conversation about.
Yes, it is.
No, it's very
Hey,
disrespectful.
friends, we don't need that leaves. Jess can handle it. Let her handle it.
Go ahead.
So, like I said,
again,
we
we're
were talking about.
offended. Next,
Go ahead, Jess. Let Jess finish, please. Let's go ahead, Jess.
I will.
Jess,
So, like I said, we were speaking about relationships in general. Nobody said anything about black or white until you brought it up. And for what reason, I don't know.
Most of the people on this panel are blackity black. So yes, you're talking about black relationships. Even though you want to pretend like you're not, just because you are, in the face of this white woman, now we have to pretend like this is about relationships as a whole. No, y'all are blackity black, okay? And you invited this white woman in to have a conversation with y'all about your relationships. And then you're getting mad because she's bringing these things up. I'm just saying, I don't understand. I have no idea why you invite people to the cookout and then you get mad when they partake in the food. You invited her. If you didn't want her speaking on black relationships, why did you invite her to a panel full of black folks talking about relationships? More time than not, you're talking about blackity black relationships. So it's illogical. You invite this white woman to the cookout and then you get mad that she's eating the food. Don't invite her to the cookout. Or if you truly wanted to have a conversation about relationships in general, then guess what you should have did? You should have had a panel full of all types of people. Some white men, some Asian men, some Asian women, we already have the white girl there, have a mixture of people there. Then you can say we're talking about relationships in general. But no, majority of this panel is blackity black. Now, I don't know who Athena is. She might be like Latina or something. I'm not 100% sure. For the most part, this is a blackity black panel. Y'all are talking about black relationships. But also, she's gonna bring it up as a means to get you off your square, get you in your feelings, in your fifis, and then bait. Now she got clips she can clip up to make black people look stupid. And it's not even that she's making you look stupid, you're choosing to look stupid. I don't understand why y'all let these folks put spells on you. It's the same thing with like the conversation around the N-word. I'm so sick of us crashing out because somebody said, when they say it's just a word, it truly is just a word. Y'all allowed them to put you under a spell so that when you hear that word, you crash out. You just completely forget that you got things to live for and you throw it all away because you're going to tap up some white person or some whatever ethnicity because they said a word. Look, here's the real tea. This is how you disarm those people that think that they can get you in your feelings or they control you by saying the N-word. You look at them like they're corny because they are corny. And then you move on. Justin was telling me that he's seen online like some white people out here actually saying that they go out here saying the N-word because they want to get you to crash out and hit them so they can get you locked up, so they can press charges against you, baiting you into doing that. And when you fall for the bait, then they start saying, look, they're chimping out. They love to say that all over Twitter. Oh, they're chimping out. And it's because you allowed this word to get you off your square to the point where you're getting into physical altercations with folks when you really should just be looking at them like, you're corny, and then move on. Slapping them is not going to prove anything. Stop letting these folks bait you and put you under the spell because they said It's almost like Dang Blessed Harry Potter. They go, and then you just lose your effing mind.
That's true.
It
'Cause you're
didn't add
black.
anything to the conversation.
It did.
First of all, you're speaking on the nature of women and how we are all naturally attracted to men who are criminals. And then you made a
Black
point to
women in
say,
particular. Yeah.
excuse me, no, that is not the case at all for Black women. Now, if you're talking about people that are in poverty, people that live in certain situations and are
60% of
to
black men have been
Excuse me.
arrested by the
Can you
ACLU.
stop cutting her off? while
Hey,
she's
one sec, one
talking?
sec. Hey, friends,
She's
one
just cutting me
second,
off,
one second.
Eileen.
I got you.
She's
I got
calling
you.
me off, Eileen.
I got you, Jazz. You don't have to ask. I got you.
Thank you, June to the max. Look at her laughing. She's getting her way. She don't care about what she's saying. She just wants the clicks, hate clicks even. Exactly. She's having a good old funky time. Like, look at them. I said a few things and look at them spiral out of control. This is exactly what she wants, and you're giving it to her. I had some stupid people in my comment section under my video about blackface and how I said I didn't give a damn. They were like, well, you're empowering the racists and da-da-da-da. Why don't you care? Da-da-da-da. I'm like, they want you to care. That's why they putting the damn shit on. They're putting the blackface on because they want you to care. Stop giving them what they want. How is it anti-black of me to tell you to stop giving racists what they want? I think it's anti-black of you to encourage black folks to get out here and give them what they want, the attention that they want, the crash out that they want. I'm telling y'all, hey, ignore them. Don't give them the ad rev by stopping and staring and replying and thumb thugging to their posts. Pay them dust. It's gonna hurt their pockets. It's gonna hurt their egos. And the moment it is no longer profitable for them to rage bait black people, guess what? They're going to stop. They're gonna stop. But as long as you make it profitable for them to do so, guess what? They're gonna continue to do so, as you can see. Because Pearl, she noticed, hey, I said this, so let me take it a step further and see if I can make them crash out even harder. And the next thing you know, I can clip this up.
You all right?
Crashing out.
Bro,
My bad.
Right, just make some notes, bro. Let her finish and then you
My
got it.
bad.
Go ahead,
My
Jen.
bad. That's my fault.
It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead, Jen. And interrupted.
It's just weird that you would even have to bring up a race of people to even have the conversation, which lets me know that you don't really have information on the conversation. You're just spewing points to try to get a rise out of people because that's all you know. As it pertains to why women choose the women they want or the kind of men that they date, there are so many different reasons for that. You can't equate a person that has a felony to them being a violent criminal. That's not always the case, because I agree there are some people that marry men and women that have felonies in their background. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are violent.
And then that's true. Not all felonies are violent offenses. I'm glad that Jazz recognized that you're trying to rage bait, but then don't fall for the bait.
And to say that black women are the most prone to violent criminals within our community, you don't know shit about our community, Pearl. And if we're going to talk about what's happening, if we're going to make it about a race thing, let's figure out what's going on in these white communities, in these white homes, when you all are raising all the mass shooters, y'all raising kids that are taking guns to shoot at other kids, y'all going into public spaces, and I'm sure you're going to talk about black on black crime or whatever, but we can debunk all of that because that's through proximity. The point is that you didn't have to make it about black or white. Keep it general, because it's very disrespectful for you to try to pigeonhole black women when you don't know any of us at all, to make that assumption that that's what we are prone to. None of these women on this stage, myself, Tyranny, or even Athena, are dating any man that is of a criminal or that are violent.
We can't pretend like it doesn't happen. Just because you and the few select women on the panel aren't doing that doesn't mean that it's not happening. We should have honest conversations about these problems, but if we are sitting here and ignoring the problems that are happening, then guess what? We're not solving them. We're allowing them to fester. So I don't agree with this idea of, well, we're not doing that, and then just ignoring that it's a problem in other areas. Like, that's not how you fix anything. It's just like those people that get on me and they say, oh, Sandra, you don't post anything about black people doing anything positive. And it's just like, what are you asking me to do? Ignore the negative and just hyper fixate on the positive things? Focusing on the positive things isn't going to inherently fix the problems. If people understand that certain things are a problem, and then they start recognizing that within their own lives, within the people that are closest to them, and they start getting inspired to not behave that way, they start getting that that public shaming that we used to have, that we tried to get rid of, that we used to have, then guess what? Maybe they will start picking a different path because they got roasted. Look, people have roasted me out of doing things before. People have shamed me out of doing things before. Shame does work. And I do think that there has to be some positivity there as well. That's why whenever you see my commentary, I try to point out the good things too. I am going to focus on the areas where we need to improve. If you are in school and you're struggling in math, but you're doing really good in English, does that mean that I'm going to give you more attention on the English side, or am I going to give you more attention on the math? Okay, are we going to work on these math problems and get you up to par here, or am I going to just focus on the areas where you're good? No, we can nurture the parts that are good, but we have to give more attention to the parts that are struggling, that are underperforming, so that they can catch up to the rest of it. Why can't we give more attention to the areas that need work, that need improvement? The powers that be, they thrive off of chaos. That's why when you look at Democrat-run cities, a lot of times they have a catch and release policy when it comes to violent criminals and offenders. They just re-release them so they can continue to terrorize the neighborhood. And that's how you end up with, okay, that story that I just talked about today with the woman being attacked by those middle school thugs. You end up with that when you do not take the cancer out of the community. These Democrat-run cities, they allow that cancer to fester in the community because it spreads. That cancer spreads. And as we saw in that video, it spread to even the middle schoolers, even the elementary school kids. So we have to cut out the cancer and then heal the rest of the community. But we can't do that if we just turn a blind eye to the cancerous parts of our community and then only hyperfixate on the healthy parts. Because guess what? Before long, the cancer is going to spread to the healthy parts of the community.
So watch what you say up here. You got a really smart mouth. And if you're going to have the conversation, try to be respectful.
And see, this is where she starts crashing out.